And welcome back! I know it hasn't been very long, right? But I can tell you missed me already. You need a little weird in your life, right? But anyway, back to business. Here I have the thing of bones again. Just look at those beauties. Those are limb bones. They are the legs of the baby deer. Baby deer has its little rib drying again, and as soon as that dries, we can work on mounting the skull. There's a random bone attached to my leg. See? Random bone on my leg. Pretty sure that belongs to the skull, so we're going to put it in this little box over there. The skull is complete enough to mount, but we cannot mount the skull until the rib dries. Trust me on this one, you do not want to glue the same rib over and over and over and over. Never mind. So for now, we're going to work on cleaning these beauties. Now they're degreasing right now, but unfortunately the really small bones still have flesh, like the really thin flesh and cartilage still attached to them, and we're going to get that off. So let's bring out our tools. That way. And here we are. Too far. Okay. So, it's labeled scalpels, but that's not all that's in here. But that part is required. So we have at least one small scalpel. We will need this, trust me. Again, I must remind you, please keep a first aid kit around. Trust me on this, sciencing requires it. We have a toothbrush, which we won't need until we get all the major flesh off. We've got what I elegantly call a pokey thing, where I'm pretty sure there's an official name for this, but I poke with it. I just poke. Okay. And surgical scissors to get that really stubborn cartilage off. And I guess that's okay for right now. There's a few other things in here, tweezers and the like, but I don't think we'll need it. Because all we have is the really thin, stuck-on stubborn flesh to deal with. Now, you want, of course, your gloves, because not only does this water and the bones in it stink, but it's going to get really mushy stuff on you. Yeah, it's mushy. Okay, so what should we do first? These nice pretty bones degreasing there. Yeah, you see the darker yellow as opposed to just the regular yellow? The darker yellow is the grease that's still in the bone. That's why when you put in water, it's called degreasing the bone. It's because you're trying to get all that grease off so it doesn't just look like terrible staining when you have your, your completed articulated skeleton. Grease also creates darker stains, like right here. See that? Ew. You don't want to see that in your display, do you? Like if you're displaying a skeleton proudly that you put together, you don't want it to look like that. So we're waiting for that grease to come out. Back in the water it goes. But a lot of these don't still have the flesh on because I'm just that thorough. But let's find the ones that do. So somewhere you can see it. Am I really just that good? Don't worry, I'm not drinking it, because you do not accidentally want to get this water anywhere. Now, if you do this kind of work where you're assembling corpses, chances are you are going to leave smelling like a corpse, and there's just nothing you can really do about that. Hey, if you have a dog, they will love you. Seriously. If you have a standoffish dog, you will not after you come home from this. Aha. There's kind of a little bit of flesh in there. See the white? I guess you don't see it very well. But here, I'll show you to you. Oh wait, there's a better example. Here's a really tiny bone. But if you look carefully, you can see white instead of just yellow, right? That white is cartilage that stayed on there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our nifty little scalpel and we're going to try to keep our fingers out of the way as much as possible. But you have to work very slowly, because the fact is, when you have bones this small, there's not really anywhere to put your fingers that the blade isn't gonna go. So you gotta work very slowly. See? Cartilage. It comes off really easily because it's been sitting in the water. I would actually prefer not to put it in the water, so I'm gonna get our trash can. Whee! Have I mentioned how much I love rolling chairs? So I'm gonna put that down there, and we are gonna scrape some cartilage off some bone, and I promise you this is going to, oh, there goes some more. Very carefully. It is easy because it's been in the water so much, but it's also very easy to slip and cut open your glove or cut open your you know, your whole self, your face, your eyes, your fingers, just everything. I wear glasses. If you do not wear glasses, I would honestly recommend some goggles, because things fling. Pieces of flesh and cartilage fling, bone fragments fling, and on the rare occasion you snap a scalpel blade, that flings around too. So, I'm going to keep scraping the flesh and cartilage off of this tiny little bone until it's done, but you're going to get bored with that real quick. So I'll be right back as soon as I'm doing something more interesting.